I don't care how cool you think you look. I don't care how cool you think you are. If you are middle-aged, upper middle-aged, and you're playing Pokemon Go, I'm going to make fun of you every single time. It doesn't work. Hey everyone, welcome to another installment of TN2M's Sit Down Stand Up Comedy Show. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know whenever we upload a new show, and comment on the videos. It's a small thing for you, but for us, it is huge. All right, so this episode is what I like to call crass thoughts. It's random musings I had. Some make sense, some may not. There's no real rhyme or reason to it. It's just stuff that's kind of bouncing around my old noggin. You know how that goes, right? Stuff like this, like why do we need a warning on prescription meds saying to not take them if we're allergic to the ingredients? Like if you're allergic to the ingredients of something, you shouldn't have it to begin with. That's why we ask if there's like peanuts or something, or if there's gluten and stuff. Putting it with the other meds doesn't make you immune. Like those laws kind of transverse. Do we put that same warning on like a taco? No, we don't, because it's idiotic. It's stupid. All right, confession time though. When my wife was pregnant with our first child, I tried to get her on all fours and milk her. I'm still in trouble for that. My daughter just turned 17, and I told this joke to my wife, and yeah, I'm still in trouble for that. Okay. Anyways, I really hate cold and flu season. Like when you get that congestion in your nose, and it's just like that one little snot bubble, that dribble of ruddiness. I just blew like a snot rocket out, and I thought it was just some plain regular snot, but there was a full-size booger in it. Now I didn't realize it when it happened, and it actually landed like on my arm, but not the normal viewable by me part of the arm. No, it was on my upper arm near my shoulder, like right here. I didn't know about it when it happened. I thought I was just blowing out a little snot, like in the parking lot. So I'm walking around the store, and in the corner of my eye, I see this like white string on my arm. Now I'm thinking it was just a white string, so I go to pull it, and it's that freaking booger. It was so gross. Oh, so gross. I also hate it when you have to poop and you go to wipe, and like when you're all done, and then a minute or two later, you have to poop again. Like your sphincter just unleashed hell. There's a dam inside your body, inside your bowels, like right in there, that just opened up, and you thought you got it all out, but you really, really didn't. It's just everything else had to, like, they had to catch up, I guess. I don't know. But I hate it when it happens, and I hate the smell that comes from it when it happens. It's so gross. Oh, but speaking of shit, look, I know Pokemon Go is popular, but if I'm out somewhere and I see you walking around in like a Pokemon hoodie, Pokemon Go labeled battery pack, and with your phone playing Pokemon Go while you're obviously in your mid to upper 40s, I will make fun of you. I will judge you every single time. Every single time. Stop it. It's not cool. I don't care how you think you look. It's not cool. Anyways, I'm sorry. That was weird. Had to get that out. But the other day, I'm making meatballs for dinner, and I noticed a packing that they had some recommended recipes. So okay, cool. I can dig that. I like to cook. I love meatballs anyway. So why not look at them, right? Give them a little look-see. Check out the Mama Jammas for the meatballs, all that good stuff. Well, to absolutely no one's surprise, they had the tried and true crock pot barbecue meatball recipe. The ones for potlucks and family gatherings. It's a classic, never goes out of style, and it's always good to eat. So, that was cool. But the other recipe, God bless their Caucasian hearts. It was meatball tacos. It was literally meatballs on a taco shell with like cheese, lettuce, tomato, and whatever. What in the white people hell is this? What is going on with freaking meatball tacos? At least crumble them up. Like I can understand that kinda, because it's already there at that point. But no, this is just wrong. And you're doing nothing but feeding into the white people can't cook bland food stereotypes. Shame on you, and shame on everything you stand for. That's what I'm saying. So like those little kid shows where everyone's all sad and stuff, like their parents are getting divorced or something. Like, how did they get cheered up? With the song, right? With the song, of course. I always hated that. Like no song is really going to turn things around like that. If someone tried to turn my frown upside down, probably just cuss them out, right? Like maybe that will get rid of my pout face. But there's no way that'd be allowed on PBS, right? Maybe a little bit. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see the Doodle Bops just go ape shit on someone. Just go pluck nutty. You have my permission. So, back in 2007, story time. For the whole year of 2007, I was convinced that Chevy was going to bring back the 57 Bel Air for their 50th anniversary launch. Now, I had no information leading up to this. I had no inkling of insider knowledge to lead to this conclusion. It was just my favorite car of all time, and I thought it'd be a great idea to do that from a marketing standpoint, which I still think. And I had convinced myself that this was happening. I checked the Chevy website constantly, asked on forums, I did all that stuff. I was completely ready for it to be a thing, and it wasn't. Like 2007 was a really strange year. I had managed to convince myself for the entirety of the year that this was happening. I'm still upset that it didn't happen. But you guys want to hear something funny? You want to hear the legend of Crackhead Bob? Well, you're in luck, because today is the day I get to regale you with the mythical being known as Crackhead Bob. Now, this was back when video arcades were still a thing and cell phones hadn't really come out yet, and at least not for like the regular person. We had beepers then. I don't know. But anyways, my friends were at the arcade, and some kids came up to them asking to buy some weed or something. I'm not exactly sure what it was, but it was definitely some type of illegal substance. Well, my friends gave them my number and told them to ask for Crackhead Bob. Now, here's the beauty of it. They swore up and down that it was a legit number, and if anyone says it's not, then that's just to keep, then they need to like keep pressing them on it, because the people on the phone were going to be trying to screen for cops, and this is how they did it. My friend said that if they wanted what they wanted, then they shouldn't be fooled. It was just kind of like Fight Club. Like, they shouldn't give up. Then eventually the person, on the front porch would give in, and you'd get hooked up. That was the beauty of this whole premise, is the fact that you don't listen to the naysayers. You just keep pushing. Now, these kids took my home phone number, and at the time I was a teen. I think I may have been like in my freshman year of college, and they call it. Of course, I'm away at college, but my mom answers the phone, right? And she has to try to convince these bastards that there's no Crackhead Bob anywhere. A month later, when I'm home visiting and my friends, they were all over and we were all hanging out, my mom asked if we knew someone named Crackhead Bob. Apparently, she got calls multiple times a day with extended conversations for people looking for Crackhead Bob. He went from being this like paranoid drug dealer to this mysterious handler of mind-altering substances, second and only to the Cubans and the Hondurans. Apparently, the tales of Crackhead Bob's exploits were mythical, and security was so tight that only the most cunning of minds, you had to get in here, they could get through the Indiana Jones-like treasure that he held. Oh man, like kids, like they tried so hard to get some weed, and my friends got the best laugh out of it. Like if I knew then what I know now, I would have set up some kind of like Goonies type map to lead them to like to a one-eyed Willie, you know? It was insane. Like she was getting calls daily for weeks. And the more she tried to say that it was a wrong number or there's no Crackhead Bob or that it was made up, the harder they pressed. Now, with that, I've never actually been a big drug user. In fact, I've only gotten high about maybe 5 times in my life. But the first time I got high, I related the invention of the wheel to U-Haul trucks. Like without the wheel, we wouldn't have them. We'd have you drag or you scoot, you know. But when I did this, I was so dead serious. It occupied my entire night. Another time I got high, I was in college. I went to the nearby 7-Eleven because I really, really wanted a candy bar. And when I got there, I couldn't figure out which candy bar I wanted. So me being like thinking outside the box, I bought 2 of every single candy bar. This wasn't just because I had the munchies. Nay, no. It was because if I had changed my mind, I'd be ready for it. And if anyone else wanted a candy bar, I'd have at least one to share. Like I really miss disposable income like that. Like if they were like, "Oh man, you're eating the 3 Musketeers. I wish I had one." I'd be like, "Bam! You want a Snicker? Ka-chow! Butterfinger? Ka-cha-ka-cha!" It was crazy. And speaking of college, let me tell you about my crazy drunken college night. This is a mixture of my memory, my roommates' tellings at the time, and then people at the apartment complex I was living at. Like, so there are 3 sources to tell this. So I'm just letting you know now, like this has been triple confirmed, I guess, is the best way to describe it. One time, my roommates had this massive party at our apartment. And before every party, there's your pregame. You have to do that, right? Well, I was going through a bout of depression, and when I say depression, I really mean like eating a shit ton of Chinese food all day, every day for about a month straight. Like that killed my metabolism. But anyways, I had finished eating my Chinese food for the time, and my roommates called me down to play a game called Asshole. If you don't know what Asshole is, it's basically a card game, and if you have the losing hand, you're the asshole, and you have to do whatever you're told. I was told to drink a lot. Now, I tried to stop, but I was pushed to keep going. I warned them that I needed to stop. I warned them I was a lightweight. But I found out, as well as my roommates did, that fried dumplings and cheap beer, they don't mix well at all. The thing about being the asshole, though, is that you also get to clean it up. So there was that. At least I cleaned up my own mess, right? But anyways, the party is starting, and I'm already pretty messed up. Like I'm known for being a tremendous lightweight. And you know, I talk about it in previous episodes too. So look them up. But when I'm drunk, it doesn't take a lot for me to stay drunk, you know. Like that night, I must have had more to drink because I woke up in my room the next day completely naked. I got up, I dressed, I made my way to the living room, where I was told of the night before. Now, this was before the Hangover movies came out, but this could have very well been the idea for which the Hangover movies were based. Like this could have been the seed that was planted that grew into the successful movie franchise it once was. Anyways, confession. Okay, when I was drunk, I thought it was a great idea to show everyone how I could slide down the stairs of our apartment stomach first. Seems stupid, right? Did I mention that I did it naked? Because that's an important part. How did I not drag my nutsack down a flight of stairs is beyond me. But to be fair, I am a quarter Japanese, so maybe that part's the quarter. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying. Anyways, I wasn't done. That night was just starting. It was just the beginning of this adventure. Being on the Kung Fu team, I had to show everyone my superb balance by taking my naked ass up to the apartment balcony and demonstrate how I can stand on the railings without any help or clothes. After all, if you wear clothes while you're standing on a balcony that's 3 floors up, did I ever mention that my apartment was on the 3rd floor? Because it was. But anyway, if you're gonna stand on the railings of a 3rd-story balcony, you can't wear clothes, because if there's wind, it may throw off your balance, and then that could be dangerous, right? That's how accidents happen, is when you wear clothes. So when I heard this, I didn't believe any of it. I remember drinking, I remember throwing up, I remember drinking some more, but I didn't really remember anything else after that. I told them they were full of it. I had to get to campus for something. So my apartment at the time was about a mile away. You could walk, but there was also a bus that ran from the apartments to the campus. So I went to the bus stop and I just waited for that. Now, while I was there, a few neighbors were at the bus stop too. And they weren't just normal neighbors. They were neighbors from a few different apartments in the complex. One was the apartment beside mine. Another was an apartment in the next building over that faced our apartment. They had windows that faced our apartment. All of them, they all asked if I was okay from the previous night. When I asked them what they meant, they gave me the same story my roommates gave. I was that guy at that point. I was the guy that had to parade around on a 3rd-story balcony railing completely naked. I really wish I had something witty to say, well, did you like the angle of the dangle? But I kind of froze then. But to my credit, though, I didn't get made fun of for what they saw. As far as for what was seen, just the fact that they saw what they saw. So I'll let you interpret that. But maybe, just maybe, that quarter Japanese part isn't the part that you were thinking of. But guys, those are my stories. Those are just some crass thoughts. I'm sure I'll have more later. But that's going to be my time for today. Thank you all so much for taking a little bit of your time listening to a bit of my life and my thoughts. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, click that notification bell so you can be one of the first ones to know when we upload a new episode. Also, make sure you leave a comment for us. What'd you think? What made you laugh? What are your funny stories? What did you experience? Let us know, because we would love to have a conversation with you about that. But guys, that's going to do it for me today. Make sure you tune in next time for TN2M's Sit Down, Stand Up comedy show. We will see you all later. Thanks so much, guys. Bye-bye.